Did you know that 9 out of 10 people breathe polluted air worldwide? This is a startling truth we face in 2024. In today's world, air pollution is a global crisis that cannot be ignored. It's an invisible enemy that we breathe in every day, often without realizing the damage it's inflicting on our bodies and our planet. From the bustling city streets of Jakarta to the sunburnt deserts of Qatar, the air we breathe is filled with pollutants that pose significant health risks. The severity and urgency of this issue are underscored by a tiny particle known as PM2.5. These minute particulates, measuring just 2.5 micrometers or less in diameter, are small enough to penetrate deep into the lungs and bloodstream, causing severe respiratory diseases and other health problems. In fact, exposure to high levels of PM2.5 is linked to millions of premature deaths every year, a chilling testament to the deadly reach of air pollution. But air pollution isn't just a health crisis, it's an environmental crisis too. It's a key driver of climate change, contributing to the warming of our planet and the resulting catastrophic weather events. The impacts of these changes are felt worldwide, but they hit hardest in the countries least equipped to deal with them, exacerbating inequalities and the cycle of poverty. This crisis is not one that can be solved by a single country or a single solution. It's a complex issue that requires global cooperation, innovative solutions, and a commitment to change. From promoting electric vehicles to halting new coal-fired power plants, governments, businesses, and individuals must all play a part in tackling this challenge. As we dive into this discussion, let's remember that it's not just numbers and statistics, it's about human lives and our planet's future. We must face this crisis head-on for the sake of our health, our environment, and future generations. Because the air we breathe should sustain us, not harm us. Starting with Indonesia, a country known for its rich biodiversity, yet struggling with environmental challenges. In the bustling city of Jakarta, air pollution is a pressing concern, with PM2.5 levels hovering around 37 micrograms per cubic meter. This silent killer is responsible for a staggering 232,000 deaths annually. But the crisis doesn't stop there. Indonesia is also grappling with rampant deforestation. In less than half a century, about 40% of its forest cover has disappeared, threatening the survival of countless species and disrupting local ecosystems. The government has been stepping up, promoting electric vehicles, and putting a halt to new coal-fired power plants. However, the path to a pollution-free Indonesia is fraught with hurdles. Despite the country's best efforts, the magnitude of the challenge is immense. As we move forward, the question remains, how will Indonesia tackle these environmental issues? Despite the government's efforts, the road to a cleaner and healthier Indonesia seems long and arduous. Moving to Qatar, a country as rich in wealth as it is in environmental challenges. Despite its opulence, Qatar grapples with considerable pollution issues, with a PM2.5 index reaching a concerning 37.6. The country's environmental challenges aren't limited to air pollution. Indeed, securing clean water is a pressing issue, further complicated by the arid climate. The rapid pace of construction and the significant aviation industry have also contributed to the pollution problem. Notably, the 2022 FIFA World Cup brought the country's environmental impact into the global spotlight. Despite these challenges, Qatar is not standing still. The nation is actively investing in sustainable initiatives, envisioning a future powered by solar energy. They've also set an ambitious goal to reduce emissions by 1/4 before the end of this decade. With ambitious goals for sustainability, only time will tell if Qatar can overcome its environmental hurdles. Next, we turn to Bahrain, a small country with a big pollution problem. In the year 2018, Bahrain recorded a disturbing PM 2.5 concentration of 60 micrograms per cubic meter. While these levels have fluctuated in the years since, they remain a cause for concern, with the potential to cause serious health issues for the country's inhabitants. The major culprits? Bahrain's heavy reliance on fossil fuels and the high levels of industrial emissions. These factors combined contribute significantly to the country's air pollution problem. Bahrain, like many nations, is caught in the delicate balance of economic growth and environmental sustainability. However, the scale of the issue cannot be understated. Air pollution poses a significant threat to public health and the environment, making it a battle that Bahrain must prioritize. In Bahrain, the battle for cleaner air is a pressing issue that cannot be ignored. Now, let's discuss China, a global powerhouse with a significant pollution issue. In the year 2023, China's PM 2.5 levels rose to a concerning 32.5 micrograms per cubic meter. This increase poses serious health risks to its vast population, with long-term exposure linked to respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. While China has made strides towards reducing its carbon footprint, aiming to peak its carbon emissions between 2026 and 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality by 2060, recent developments may hinder this progress. The approval of new coal plants, a major source of PM 2.5 pollutants, could potentially offset the gains made in reducing emissions. This illustrates the delicate balance China faces, powering its economic growth while safeguarding its environment and the health of its citizens. With its ambitious climate goals, China's path to cleaner air is fraught with challenges. Moving to India, where a severe air quality crisis is taking a heavy toll on public health. The country's PM 2.5 levels were measured at a concerning 54.4 micrograms per cubic meter in 2023. This isn't just a number, it translates into about 2 million premature deaths annually. So what's causing this? Well, the culprits are many. Biomass fuel use, for instance, is a significant factor. Traditional cooking methods using wood, dung, or crop residues release harmful pollutants directly into homes and the surrounding environment. Then, there's traffic congestion. With over 1 billion people and growing urbanization, India's cities are choked with vehicles, and the emissions they produce are a key contributor to the air quality crisis. On top of that, the country's plans to increase coal-fired power production by 50% are a looming cloud on the horizon. In India, the air quality crisis remains a daunting challenge that demands urgent attention. Turning to Pakistan, a country grappling with severe pollution. In 2024, the PM 2.5 level in Pakistan reached a staggering 73.7, with cities like Lahore experiencing critical levels of air pollution. This high level of fine particulate matter in the air has profound implications for public health, contributing to respiratory diseases and other serious health conditions. But it's not just the air that's affected. Pakistan also faces a significant water pollution issue. Industrial waste, sewage, and agricultural runoff flow unchecked into rivers and groundwater, polluting the very resources that communities rely on for drinking, cooking, and bathing. In Pakistan, pollution is not just an environmental issue, but a social one that disproportionately affects women. Women, often responsible for gathering water and cooking, are exposed to polluted water and indoor air pollution more frequently. This severe pollution in Pakistan underscores the urgent need for comprehensive environmental and social policies to protect the health of all citizens. Next, let's look at the United Arab Emirates, a country facing a significant pollution problem. The UAE, globally recognized for its towering skyscrapers and abundant wealth, has seen its PM 2.5 levels rise to 43 micrograms per cubic meter in 2024. This high level of particulate matter in the air has significant health implications, particularly for the most vulnerable. Migrant workers, who make up a large portion of the UAE's population, are often exposed to these harmful pollutants in their workplaces. Similarly, women, especially those working outdoors, are confronted with this health hazard daily. The UAE's heavy reliance on fossil fuels is a major contributor to its pollution predicament. Although the government is making strides toward a more sustainable future, the fossil fuel industry's pervasive influence remains a formidable obstacle to overcome. In the UAE, the fight against pollution is a fight for a healthier future for all residents. Moving to Egypt, a country facing a daunting pollution crisis. The land of the pharaohs is grappling with a severe air quality issue, with PM 2.5 levels soaring to an alarming 42.4 micrograms per cubic meter. This not only poses a significant threat to the health of the Egyptian people, but also has substantial economic implications. The government, fully aware of the severity of the issue, has been making efforts to combat pollution. However, these attempts are often fragmented and lack the necessary coordination to make a substantial difference. Despite implementing measures such as stricter environmental regulations and promoting the use of cleaner fuels, the country is still a long way from achieving its air quality goals. The situation in Egypt underscores the urgent need for comprehensive and sustainable solutions to the global pollution crisis. For Egypt, the journey toward cleaner air is a long road filled with challenges. Finally, we turn to Iraq, a country dealing with serious environmental challenges. Iraq's pollution is a pressing concern, with PM 2.5 levels consistently above the WHO's recommended limit. This airborne pollution, primarily from fossil fuel combustion, contributes to a myriad of health issues for the Iraqi people, from respiratory diseases to premature deaths. But air pollution is just one facet of Iraq's environmental woes. The country also grapples with severe water scarcity. Iraq's water crisis is a result of both natural factors, including climate change and drought, and human activity, such as dam building in neighboring countries and inefficient water management. This scarcity threatens not only the health of the population, but also Iraq's agricultural sector, the backbone of its economy. In Iraq, the fight isn't just against pollution or water scarcity. It's a fight for the country's future. The road to a cleaner, healthier environment is long and fraught with challenges, but it's a battle that must be won for the sake of Iraq's present and future generations. As we conclude, it's clear that pollution is a global crisis that requires urgent and collective action. Our journey took us through several countries, each with their unique challenges and struggles against pollution. The severity of the situation is undeniable, with PM 2.5 particulate matter levels in some countries reaching alarming heights, far beyond what the World Health Organization deems safe. We discussed Indonesia's environmental crisis, where deforestation and high PM 2.5 levels in cities like Jakarta pose a significant threat to human health. Similarly, The environmental challenges in Qatar, one of the world's richest countries, are a stark reminder that wealth does not shield one from the consequences of pollution. Bahrain, China, and the United Arab Emirates each have their battles to fight, with heavy reliance on fossil fuels and industrial emissions contributing to their pollution problems. Despite efforts to reduce emissions and transition towards sustainable energy sources, the path to cleaner air remains steep. In countries like India and Pakistan, the air quality crisis is severe, with PM 2.5 levels that cause millions of premature deaths annually. The urgency for action is palpable. The impacts of pollution in these countries are disproportionately affecting women, further emphasizing the need for inclusive solutions. Egypt and Iraq, too, face significant environmental challenges, with fragmented and insufficient efforts to combat pollution. The health and economic impacts of these pollution levels are far-reaching, affecting every facet of life for those living there. But amidst these grim realities, there's potential for change. Governments are taking steps, albeit slow, towards cleaner futures. The fight for a healthier planet is a collective one, and it's a fight we must all join. We must remember that every action, big or small, can contribute to this fight. Whether it's reducing our carbon footprint, advocating for cleaner energy sources, or supporting environmental policies, every step counts. Remember, every step towards cleaner air, no matter how small, can make a huge difference. The fight for a healthier planet continues, and it's a fight we must all be part of.